Hello, future scientists. Welcome to this exciting session on Advanced Chemistry. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of oxidation of aldehydes and ketones. This topic is crucial for understanding organic reactions and often appears in competitive exams. We'll start with the basics, then gradually move to medium, hard, and finally, the hardest concepts, equipping you with the knowledge to ace your exams. Let's begin this journey of chemical transformation. Ready to uncover how aldehydes and ketones behave when they meet oxygen? Let's start with the easy part first. Oxidation in organic chemistry is a fundamental concept, often involving the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. When we talk about aldehydes and ketones, oxidation is about transforming their unique carbonyl group. Aldehydes are quite special because they have a hydrogen atom directly attached to their carbonyl carbon. This makes them very eager to react and get oxidized. Imagine it as a readily available spot for oxygen to attach, converting the aldehyde into a carboxylic acid. For example, if you take an aldehyde like ARCHO, it simply adds an oxygen, turning into ARCO, a carboxylic acid. This direct, straightforward conversion is a hallmark of aldehyde reactivity. Because aldehydes are so eager to oxidize, even mild oxidizing agents can do the trick. These reactions are super useful for identifying aldehydes in the lab. Take Tollens reagent, for instance, which is ammoniacal silver nitrate. When an aldehyde reacts with it, you see a beautiful, silver mirror forming on the test tube. This happens because the aldehyde gets oxidized, and the silver ions get reduced to metallic silver. Similarly, Fehling's solution, containing cupric ions, turns into a reddish-brown precipitate of cuprous oxide when it reacts with an aldehyde. Both these tests are clear indicators of an aldehyde's presence. Crucially, the carboxylic acid formed always has the same number of carbon atoms as the original aldehyde, preserving its carbon backbone. Now it's your turn to apply what you've learned. Here are 3 practice questions to test your understanding of aldehyde oxidation. Pause the video, try to answer them, and then check your solutions. These questions will help solidify your grasp on mild oxidizing agents and the products formed during aldehyde oxidation. Good luck! Alright, let's step up our game. Moving on to the medium level, we'll explore the intriguing differences in oxidation behavior. We've seen that aldehydes are quite reactive. But what about ketones? They have a different story. Unlike aldehydes, ketones do not possess that special hydrogen atom on their carbonyl carbon. Instead, they have 2 alkyl or aryl groups. This structural difference makes them much more stable and resistant to oxidation under mild conditions. So, if you try to use Tollens or Fehling's reagent on a ketone, nothing happens. They simply won't react. This resistance is a key distinguishing feature between aldehydes and ketones, highlighting how a small structural difference can lead to a big change in chemical behavior. While ketones resist mild oxidation, they are not entirely immune. Under vigorous conditions, using strong oxidizing agents and high temperatures, ketones can be forced to oxidize. We are talking about powerful reagents like concentrated nitric acid, acidified potassium permanganate, or acidified potassium dichromate. These conditions are harsh enough to break the strong carbon-carbon bonds adjacent to the carbonyl group. This process is called carbon-carbon bond cleavage. Imagine the ketone's carbon chain being chopped into smaller pieces, yielding a mixture of carboxylic acids, each with fewer carbon atoms than the original ketone. It's a much more destructive process compared to aldehyde oxidation. When an unsymmetrical ketone undergoes vigorous oxidation, the C-to-C bond cleavage isn't random. It follows what's known as Popoff's rule. This rule states that the C-to-C bond cleavage preferentially occurs in such a way that the carbonyl group stays with the smaller alkyl fragment. For example, if you oxidize butanone, which has a methyl group and an ethyl group attached to the carbonyl, the bond between the carbonyl carbon and the ethyl group will preferentially break. This results in the formation of ethanoic acid and propanoic acid as the major products. Understanding Popoff's rule helps predict the specific carboxylic acids formed, which is crucial for synthetic planning. The products are always a mixture of carboxylic acids with fewer carbons. Time to test your understanding of ketone oxidation and Popoff's rule. These 5 practice questions will challenge you to explain why ketones are resistant, predict products, and write balanced equations. Take your time, think critically about the structural differences, and apply Popoff's rule where necessary. These skills are vital for success in organic chemistry. Excellent! Now, let's push our understanding further. The hard level awaits, where we'll explore deeper insights into oxidation. At the hard level, it's essential to deeply understand the contrasting behaviors of aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes, with their CH bond on the carbonyl, are easily oxidized to carboxylic acids, retaining their carbon skeleton. Think of it as a gentle addition of oxygen. Ketones, lacking this CH bond, require harsh conditions to break C to C bonds, leading to a mixture of smaller carboxylic acids. This is a more aggressive, fragmenting process. Furthermore, we encounter specific oxidizing agents. For instance, peroxy acids are used in Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, a fascinating rearrangement that transforms ketones into esters or lactones by inserting an oxygen atom. This is not a simple addition or cleavage, but a molecular rearrangement. Another important reaction is the haloform reaction, which is an oxidative cleavage specific to methyl ketones, converting them into carboxylic acids with one less carbon and forming a haloform. These specific reactions highlight the diverse pathways oxidation can take. To truly master this, let's compare the key aspects of aldehyde and ketone oxidation in detail. Aldehydes react with mild oxidizers like toluenes and phenylanes, while ketones do not. Aldehydes form carboxylic acids with the same number of carbons, whereas ketones form a mixture of carboxylic acids with fewer carbons. The mechanisms also differ significantly. Aldehydes involve simple oxygen insertion, while ketones undergo C-to-C bond cleavage under vigorous conditions, or specific rearrangements like Baeyer-Villiger, or oxidative cleavage in the haloform reaction. The synthetic utility also varies. Aldehyde oxidation is used for simple acid synthesis, while ketone oxidations like Baeyer-Villiger are crucial for ester synthesis, and the haloform reaction is for identifying methyl ketones or chain shortening. Understanding this detailed comparison is key for G Advanced. Connecting these oxidation reactions to underlying theories is crucial for a deeper understanding. Popoff's rule for unsymmetrical ketone oxidation isn't just a rule, it reflects the relative stabilities of intermediate species or transition states during C-to-C bond cleavage. The cleavage occurs to favor the formation of a more stable carbocation or radical intermediate, which correlates with the carbonyl remaining with the smaller alkyl group. In the Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, the migratory aptitude of groups, like tertiary alkyl being more prone to migrate than methyl, is explained by the ability of these groups to stabilize the developing positive charge during the 1-2 shift. This understanding allows us to predict products with greater accuracy and appreciate the subtle electronic effects at play. These reactions are not just about adding oxygen, but about complex electron movements and rearrangements. Now, challenge yourself with these 7 hard-level practice questions. These problems require you to apply your knowledge of specific reagents, predict reaction products, propose synthetic routes, and understand the underlying mechanisms like Baeyer-Villiger and Popoff's rule. Think critically, consider all possible pathways, and justify your answers. Mastering these types of questions is a significant step towards excelling in G Advanced Chemistry. You've made it to the ultimate challenge. The hardest level is where we bring it all together, exploring competitive depth and real-world applications. At the highest level, we delve into advanced oxidizing agents and their nuanced specificity. Beyond the general strong oxidizers, reagents like selenium dioxide, SiO2, are fascinating. SiO2 selectively oxidize aldehydes and ketones at the alpha position, meaning the carbon right next to the carbonyl group, forming alpha-decarbonyl compounds or alpha-beta unsaturated carbonyls. This is incredibly useful for introducing new functionality at specific sites. We also revisit reagents like chromium trioxide in pyridine, known as Sarrate or Collins reagents. These are mild enough to oxidize alcohols to aldehydes or ketones without over-oxidizing the aldehydes to carboxylic acids, which is critical when you have multiple functional groups in a complex molecule. Understanding these selective reagents is key to designing sophisticated syntheses in organic chemistry, where precision is paramount. Let's dissect the mechanisms of Baeyer-Villiger and haloform reactions, which are frequently tested in G advanced. The Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, catalyzed by peroxy acids, involves a fascinating rearrangement. First, the ketone's carbonyl is protonated, making it more electrophilic. Then, the peroxy acid attacks, forming a tetrahedral intermediate. The crucial step is a 1,2-alkyl shift, where an alkyl or aryl group migrates from the carbonyl carbon to the oxygen of the peroxy acid, simultaneously kicking out a carboxylate anion. The choice of which group migrates depends on its migratory aptitude. For the haloform reaction, it's an oxidative cleavage. A methyl ketone undergoes base-catalyzed halogenation at the alpha carbon 3 times, forming a trihalomethyl ketone. This electron-withdrawing group makes the carbonyl carbon highly susceptible to hydroxide attack, leading to the cleavage of the CCX3 bond and the formation of a stable trihalomethyl carbanion, which then gets protonated to form the haloform. Understanding these step-by-step electron movements is vital. Regioselectivity and stereochemistry are critical considerations in advanced oxidation. Popoff's rule, while a good guide, can have more nuanced applications, especially in cyclic ketones or highly branched systems, where steric and electronic factors can subtly influence which C-to-C bond cleaves preferentially. For instance, in Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, if the migrating group is chiral, its configuration is retained during the 1,2 shift. This means if you start with a chiral ketone, you can form a chiral ester or lactone with a specific stereochemistry, making the reaction powerful for synthesizing optically active compounds. This level of control over the reaction outcome is what separates basic understanding from advanced mastery, allowing chemists to build complex molecules with desired three-dimensional structures. This is where organic synthesis becomes an art form, demanding precise control over molecular architecture. The oxidation of aldehydes and ketones isn't just academic, it has immense industrial importance and shapes synthetic strategies. Take adipic acid, a crucial monomer for nylon 6,6. It's produced industrially by the oxidation of cyclohexanone with nitric acid. Acetic acid, a fundamental chemical, can also be produced through aldehyde oxidation. In the pharmaceutical industry, selective oxidation steps are indispensable for synthesizing drug intermediates, introducing or modifying carbonyl and carboxyl groups in complex molecules. When planning a synthesis, chemists must meticulously choose reagents based on their selectivity, ensuring only the desired functional group reacts, and their stereospecificity to control the 3D structure. Practical considerations like yield and cost are also paramount for industrial applications. Mastering these concepts provides you with a powerful toolkit for tackling real-world chemical challenges and excelling in G advanced problems, which often combine multiple reaction types. Alright, here are the first 5 out of 10 challenging questions for the hardest level. These problems are designed to push your understanding to its limits, requiring you to apply knowledge of advanced reagents, predict complex products, and even deduce structures from reaction outcomes. Pay close attention to molecular formulas, reaction conditions, and the specific tests mentioned. Think like a chemist, breaking down each problem into smaller, manageable steps. These questions truly test your preparedness for the JEE Advanced examination. And here are the remaining 5 questions for the hardest level. These problems might involve multi-step synthesis, detailed mechanistic explanations, or require you to compare and contrast various oxidation pathways. This is where you demonstrate your comprehensive understanding of the topic, your ability to connect different concepts, and your problem-solving skills under pressure. Remember, practice is key to mastering these complex organic chemistry challenges. Take your time, analyze each question thoroughly, and strive for complete and accurate answers. You've got this. Congratulations on completing this in-depth journey through the oxidation of aldehydes and ketones. From basic definitions to complex mechanisms and industrial applications, you've covered a vast and crucial part of organic chemistry. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and remember that every concept you master brings you closer to your goals. For more such comprehensive educational content and to take your learning to the next level, visit synapse.omaps.in and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Your success is our mission. See you in the next session.